Hello, everyone. I'm Amay Alji, your host and product marketing manager at Innovapptive. Innovapptive is the market leader in connected worker platform. We bring together your frontline workforce with your back office and assets, all in one, basically to help you to streamline your workflows and provide real-time updates and communication between your maintenance, operations, and warehousing team, effectively helping you to improve your profit margins by reducing unplanned downtime and improving productivity. So today, this is our new webinar series. On this series, we would be exploring our customer transformation journeys, and basically this webinar would be divided into four different sections. The first section talks about what their current state was. Second section talks about what their challenges, what challenges they face on day-to-day basis. Third section talks about how they chose to partner someone for the transformation journey, and the last section talks about the business benefits that they achieved through this transformation. Today, I'm delighted to have with me Jame Long and Thomas Austin from LiftOne, who are going to share their transformational journey with our mInventory platform. So, Jame and Thomas, welcome to this webinar. And if you don't mind, please helping us with your introduction, please.
Yeah, thank you, Ame. So my name is Jame Long. I am a central parts manager here at LiftOne. I've been with the company 13 years. I led the implementation of Innovapptive to our team a year and a half ago. And then since then, we've progressed through and are on a journey ourselves.
Thank you, Jame. Welcome. Sorry, over to you, Thomas. Yes, please.
Sorry for that. Thomas Austin. So I am the logistics leader for our ERP transformation team. So everything from warehousing, distribution, up until transportation.
Brilliant. Welcome, Thomas. So today we are going to discuss about the specific warehouse transformation journey with LiftOne. So if you can help us to give us a brief summary of LiftOne and your business and so on.
Yeah, so LiftOne, we are a material handling company. We're basically in the Southeast. We have 20 locations. We're the high street Yale dealer in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama, and some in Tennessee. So with that, we have the 20 branches that we have 700 technicians, 500 vans. So our warehouses are dedicated to making sure our customers are up and running in a timely manner.
Wow, interesting. Thank you, Jame. So let's get into the topic. So just to bring this to visualization, is it okay for you to share with our audience what was the scope of your warehouse operations at LiftOne?
Yeah, like I said, as I mentioned, we have 20 locations. Our warehouses are fairly small. They can go anywhere from 1,000 square feet up to Atlanta being our largest, which I believe is 20,000 square feet. In those, we have multiple SKUs. Again, every branch has at least 20, 30 technicians. So we push product out every single day.
Brilliant. Sounds exciting. Thank you, Jame. And now this one is for Thomas. Thomas, in terms of ERP system, what ERP systems are you currently using? And within that ERP system, what warehouse modules do you use there?
Sure. So we're currently on SAP ECC6. We are on a highly customized version of ECC, which makes it very difficult to roll out new processes. We are moving to S/4HANA sometime in the next 6 to 12 months. And we are trying to stay as close to standard on S/4HANA as possible to avoid the challenges we've had with upgrading our current ECC system. As far as inventory control, we are just inventory management level. We are not using WM or any of the EWM modules. It's only the IM level. As Jame mentioned, our warehouses are integrated into our branches, each branch having about a 1,000 to 2,000 square foot area, fairly small. Well, they're probably a little bigger than that, but they're still fairly small, more like stock rooms at the branches, and then we have a central warehouse that's about 20,000 square feet.
Thank you, Thomas. So so you are on an exciting journey. So you're moving to S/4HANA in next 6 months. So I'm sure we will talk more about it in the coming webinar. Uh, so going back to you, Jamie. So you basically helped us to visualize how your warehouse looks like. But if I have to ask you, if to describe the state of your warehouse processes before you implementing mInventory, what they could look like, and what were they? So just few high level overview.
Yeah, so the future or previously and currently, what we're actually having to do is everything is going to be a manual process. Everything prints out via paperwork. There's a lot of movement from our warehouse specialists. As an order comes in, they have to go to the back door, pick that product up, check it in, walk to their computers, and really go through a manual process. So very paper heavy, process driven, movement driven. And so that's really what we liked about, using mInventory.
Okay. So, just follow-up question on this. So, you talked about the paper-based process, and you also spoke about, the inefficiencies in terms of people have to move within the office. So, other than that, any specific challenges that you think you want to highlight here with your
Yeah, I would
previous processes?
say our cycle counting. Well, not cycle counting. It's an annual physical inventory. So what that used to be is you would print out, depending on the branch size, anywhere from 5 to 10 pieces of, or 5 to 10 documents. In those documents, you would print them out. You would actually have to go out, physically count the materials, write it down, come back to your computer desk. That right there, it shuts our plants down and our warehouses down for 6 to 8 hours. So we lose a full day. That was one of the biggest challenges that we really wanted to overcome.
Wow. So this is so the entire cycle counting is done within a day, or it requires more than a day within one warehouse.
So typically it's 6 to 8 hours. Again, our branches are very small. Probably 900 to 1,200 SKUs per branch, at our larger branches. So it does take a while.
Yeah, and plus it also takes a lot of cost as well, right? So in terms of, as you just mentioned, shutting down the operations and working on that. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Jamie. So just going back to, if we talk about the current state, so what factors led your team to choose Innovapptive as a solution for improving your warehouse operation?
Yeah, so like Thomas said earlier, LiftOne's going on a digital transformation journey. So what we wanted to do is to introduce our teams to the first step, and we chose Innovapptive to do that with us. We like the ability for our team members to be on the move and doing any of their processes at that point in time. Just that usability, that UI that the users are actually seeing is very straightforward. We wanted to get in front of our team members because we're doing that journey.
So as I understand, Jamie, from you, so the two factors that you basically said. So first is you are on the step one of your digital transformation journey, where you have just where you have introduced the mobile way of working, and then second is the user experience being extremely easy and simple for your team to follow. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Oh, brilliant. So in terms of, just, as I understand, you have implemented mInventory for now it's more than a year, so 1.5 years, I guess. And so if you can talk about, how your processes have been improved by implementing mInventory, what changes you see now?
Yeah, so there's a couple things that really do come to mind. During that goods receipting process, historically, we actually would keep our packing list, in a storage, like a drawer. Excuse me. today with a little bit of enhancement from the mInventory, we're able to digitally store these packing slips inside of our SAP. So that right there for us is trimming down our storage capacity. So we have more room to either stock more material or trucks or whatever we're needing. So we're reducing a lot of that wasted space. The other one is going to be, our cycle counting or our physical inventory count process. What we have experienced over the last year and a half is between a 2 and a 4 hour process difference. We've saved that time using the tool. So as I mentioned earlier, we would have to handwrite everything down, go back to SAP, type all this information back in, and using the tool, again, like I said, it's taken us from 8 hours in a larger branch to about 5.
Brilliant. So that's a huge saving in itself. But one more thing that we have seen with our customers is sometimes when you have to write everything manually, right? There is also a room for error in terms of updating the systems and so on and so forth. Whereas with the barcoding application, I think that might have reduced down, isn't it? Isn't that
Yeah,
the
we
case with
also
you as well?
Yeah, we also do use the barcoding. We print out material labels for our technicians, and so our technicians are on their mobile devices. They're able to scan those part numbers, so they don't have to worry about keying the materials in either.
Yeah, so, brilliant. Thank you, Jamie.
Hmm.
So this is so just to bring the slide. So this slide basically talks about different processes that mInventory can help with. So one of the things that you spoke about is cycle counting, and then if you would like to highlight any other processes which has been improved with the help of mInventory.
Yeah, I mean the barcode scanning, the OCR opportunities, not having to worry about keying errors if I'm looking for a purchase order. Our cycle counts have improved. Goods receipt process, again, being able to take the pictures of packing lists, that's greatly been improving. The documents, the printing. So most of those items have impacted us in a positive way.
Brilliant. So you're using almost the entire suite or entire features set that is available currently in mInventory, which is
Right,
really
and
good to hear.
future state, correct. And in future state, there's going to be even more from this slide right here that we will be implementing.
Yeah, essentially future state, it's everything except for the kitting, as based on the slide.
So basically, what you're saying, Thomas, is kitting is for future state, but other than kitting, almost everything is currently being implemented within your operations. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Brilliant, nice, thank you. So Jamie and Thomas. So this is this one. So with regards to if you had to pick up one of the key features within Innovapptive's mInventory app, so what stands out for you in terms of the use case that you have at LiftOne?
Yeah, I mean, other than the UI that you see here on the screen, the background module, the raise program, the ability for our IT department and our teams to collaborate and say, hey, we want something a little bit different on the layout. Having that ability on our side was really huge for us too. I can make slight changes to the UI experience, and as we get feedback from our users, that's what we do.
So basically, the time savings in terms of customizing the app as well as the features according to the requirement of those specific warehouses that you operate in, right?
Right. Yeah, we don't have to customize SAP. We'll customize mInventory.
Brilliant. So that in itself could give you huge savings, right? In terms of the time it takes to code and implement and so on. You don't have to do anything with regards to mInventory as such. Thank you, Jamie. Anything that you would like to add, Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would echo that. As I mentioned earlier, our current ECC system is highly customized. It's a 20-year-old platform, and as they needed changes made to the process, they would have to customize SAP, which is a very expensive, very time-consuming, and risky process. In the new system, in the S4 system, we made a pledge that we were going to keep it as vanilla as we could, as simple as possible. But when we did need significant changes, we were able to accommodate those within the Innovapptive mInventory scope, which reduced our time to get the project done for S4 because we didn't have a whole lot of RICEFs and other issues that we had customized in the S4 system, and then which of course impacts all the other teams like order to cash and purchase to procure to pay. Being able to keep the back end S4 system standard out of the box and then saying we need this output or we need this data displayed to our user during the pick process or during the goods receipt, and being able to work with the Innovapptive team was a huge benefit.
Wow, thank you, Thomas. That's brilliant. So basically, as I understand, so you moving to ECC and S4 HANA, so all the customizations which would be required by you would be done on Innovapptive platform as compared you won't be doing anything on S4 HANA because, as you just said, it's a beast and it will take a lot of efforts to do that.
Yeah.
One more benefit. Sorry.
So the current EC, I'll give you an example. The current ECC system, when they're doing any kind of the movements and they need the work order displayed, well, that's not something that SAP does by default, but it's a piece of information they're used to having in the current customized ECC system. Had we not had Innovapptive, we would have had to customize S/4HANA to meet that business requirement. Instead, we were able to work with the Innovapptive team and make a slight change to the UI and fulfill that need.
Thank you so much, Thomas, for sharing that. Thank you, Jame. So let's move on to the next one. So one of the things, Thomas, on the last point when you said moving from ECC to S4 HANA, and you mentioned about the customization and UI. I think one of the great benefit that it would also have is your work. So the warehouse staff, because the UI would be still the same, even though you have moved from ECC to S4 HANA. I think it will also not reduce your adoption rate. So going back to the question on adoption rate, how widely the mInventory app is being adopted at LiftOne?
Yeah, well, we have a pretty good adoption rate. There are users that are using the product, really do like it. Again, getting them really used to what the future state's going to look like was important for us. So as they have adopted, the training that was involved, I did a majority of the training myself. We really saw was I don't have to remember an SAP transaction. So, I'm doing a goods receipt. Okay, well, the module says goods receipt. And this is a purchase order. Okay, so I'm going to go to module goods receipt purchase order. I don't have to remember, I got to go to Migo and I have to do this. So having the UI really spelled out and then not having to remember SAP terminology, our users really do like that. For new users coming on, it literally for us is about a 4 to 6 hour training, where historically it's about a 3-week process to train somebody.
So the 3 weeks process has come down to 4 to 6 hours. That's what you said, Jame, right? So Jame, going back to training, so can you please help our audience to understand, so what is the ideal way to train? So do you have courses or do you have videos or you do one-to-one training? What has helped?
Yeah, so we do have paper documentation. During our initial go live, we created, it's about a 50-page document for all of our processes. We have screenshots. All right, you do this step, this step, this step. That's really good for our branches that are further away, or if we cannot get out there quickly to do a one-on-one training. Our users do like that one-on-one. It's just that comfort level. There's a subject matter expert with them working through the process. Again, okay, this is the goods receipt. This is what a goods receipt means. All right, this is the module, the sub-module. This is what it looks like. The platform is just really easy for users to understand and go through.
Yeah, brilliant. So yeah, that's what we anticipated as well. So one-to-one training works very well because there is someone, as you just said, handholding rather than going through the notes. And I think that's what you are referring as well, Jamie. Brilliant. So going back to the people who work in the warehouse, right? So how mInventory has positively transformed their lives and improved their overall working conditions. If you could shed some more light on that, that would really be helpful.
Yeah, so we have Tammy. She is one of our warehouse specialists down in Columbia. She is my super user. If there's anything ever wrong, she's the first to speak up. So what she has told us in the past is, I really love this product. I don't have to, again, remember this transaction. I can be, away from my computer and process a goods receipt. I can take a picture of a damaged product, and that information is stored within SAP. Stuff like that we didn't have in the future, or I'm sorry, in the past. The ability to be moving around and making changes to bin locations on the fly, that's huge. So the users that have picked it up really do enjoy your product.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jamie. It seems like the super user that you just said about in terms of so we have a small clip as well which we would add to this webinar, but no, thank you for sharing it.
The mInventory app is super easy to use. It's user friendly. It slowed me down at first when I tried it because doing it SAP way, you already know the process, so you can do it a little bit quicker. But then when I started working with the app, it's really quicker on the app. Like I said, you can take your pictures; it's already out there. If you forget the PO, you like I said, you still have your image out there, so it's much easier, much faster now, and you could just pull it up quicker.
So just going back to now after state, right? So you've been using our product for last 18 months. So can you just briefly talk about what business or organizational benefit that you have realized since implementation? But just to bring to the main topic within that is if you could talk about the inventory accuracy at LiftOne, what it was and what it is right now. So and anything else that you would like to add.
Yeah, absolutely. Prior to coming on here talking with you, I was in our Charlotte location doing an inventory. Historically, we have that piece of paper that we would be counting what's on the shelf to the piece of paper. If a material wasn't in the right location, I'd have to go through, let's say 20 pieces of paper looking for a material number. With Innovapptive now, there's a search bar. I was able to say, I'm looking for this material, and it returned that said, yes, it's still in this document. By the way, it's over in this location. So we were quickly able to identify issues and move product at a much faster rate than we would have been historically.
Brilliant. So it has basically helped you to simplify your processes, right? So if we talk about future state, Thomas, with regards to you, so you've been trying. So you have shared your journey from ECC to S/4HANA. So that's the transformation. So any particular KPIs or metrics that you would like or you would be observing with regards to S/4HANA or any plans for future?
So, Jamie just spoke about our physical inventory process currently being a four-wall shutdown and count scenario in current state. We are moving towards a cycle count driven process in future state, which will mean it's a couple of minutes a week that our users are counting perpetually throughout the year, as opposed to doing that shutdown and count, sacrificing multiple days of production and as well as all the labor involved to prepare for a full four-wall inventory, working ahead for the previous weeks so that you can afford to shut down for a day. So moving to a cycle count based process, Innovapptive allows us to quickly do those counts in the morning before they start their normal work so that they don't feel the pain of that. Also, in our general inbound and outbound processes, the ability to have the user do the transaction, at the time the transaction happens physically is huge for accuracy. Previously, with the paperwork, as you can imagine, with any kind of volume in a warehouse or distribution center, trying to keep up with that paperwork, making sure that all the clerical effort gets done after the physical work gets done is very arduous. So allowing that user to have the mobile device with them and just do the goods receipt very simply, easily, is a huge benefit to inventory accuracy.
And thank you for sharing that, Thomas. And any other things that you think would you would be benefiting from S4 HANA transitioning with regards to your future state in terms of the business benefits for
So
warehouse?
a big benefit for us future state is actually that we're expanding the mInventory tool to include our equipment. So as Jamie mentioned, we're a material handling company, which means we sell forklifts. And today only our parts are being managed by mInventory. Future state, we will have our equipment also managed by mInventory. So our shipping and receiving people will also be using the mInventory tool, and the mInventory team was able to customize quite a few of the screens to allow for more detailed information during the pick and shipping process and the receiving process, to include specific pieces and parts like being able to support handling units and integrate with our transportation system to pass the right information to effectively manage large equipment that is very unique and very complex. So yeah, definitely big plans in the future.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for sharing that. Now, so this will be the last question. So, to end, what does the future holds for LiftOne with its connected worker platform or connected workforce, specifically highlighting a warehouse? And any advancement that you see, we have seen AI being used everywhere. So any advancement in AI or other technologies that you're looking at to drive the further innovation in your operations?
Yeah, so actually, we're currently installing a pop pick module. If you're not familiar with that is an automated picking solution in one of our larger warehouses, our main DC down in Atlanta, and that's an automated. It's a shelf to picker solution using an AI robotic arm that basically provides the material to the user for a lot of the smaller items, which is the majority of the parts, as you would imagine, in forklift repair. Innovapptive will be integrated into that system, at least at some level, for paperwork and starting the process, identifying the loads and providing the labels that will be going on the material labels that Jamie alluded to earlier. As far as the future, I mean, we are growing at an astonishing rate, adding branches every year or so. We're adding a branch or two. So the business is growing, and we're definitely planning to open a large central DC at some point. So as we go through this development cycle, even though we have smaller stock rooms now, we're definitely keeping in mind what the next 10 years looks like, and developing processes that are robust enough to handle a larger DC process. And Innovapptive has been very flexible and very easy to use. And then with that, of course, comes more training, more users. And I'll echo what Jamie had said. Anybody who has SAP experience, has used SAP in the past, knows that it is not an intuitive system. SAP is a very knowledge-based system. You have to know a very specific code to go do a transaction. You have to know exactly what tabs and fields, if you're on the header or item level, to complete that transaction. And the training load directly in SAP is high. Innovapptive makes it a very simple, straightforward process, very easy to learn, very easy to use. It makes sense, right? As Jamie said on the goods receipt, you're not going to a Migo screen and knowing which of these 25 boxes or have to be filled out to complete this transaction. You simply go to goods receipt and click PO and fill in the 3 blanks that you're provided. So from a training load, when you're expanding as fast as we are, that has been a huge benefit and will continue to be.
Wow, brilliant. So, the robotic side of it seems very exciting as well, Thomas, in terms of your plan, you completely going into automation. And just one more question that I had to you, Jamie. So, we were talking about the S4 HANA transition, but from warehouse perspective, uh, there was something that we spoke earlier with regards to multiple pickup. So, do you want to shed some light on it and how it is going to be done in future state?
I believe what you're referring to there is one of the process issues that we have today where I have to pick a single item or a single order. That one?
Correct. That's correct. Yeah, that's
All right.
correct.
So as part of our development with the Innovapptive team for S4, what we've actually asked from your team is to be able to combine similar orders into one picking process. So my warehouse person is not going to be, running down the same aisle 3 or 4 times. The thought process behind it, and Innovapptive has agreed that yes, we can do this, is if I have materials on the same aisle, I'm pulling for 3 different service orders at one time, which is really going to be, for us, a time saver. And our user feedback has been, we want this product to do this for us.
Brilliant. I have a good news for you. It's been already implemented within the product. So yeah, with your S4 HANA transition, you might be able to you can use that feature as well. But this first of all, thank you so much, Jamie and Thomas for being here. It was just a pleasure talking to you. It always delights me of listening to customer stories in terms of how and what they're using it. But there was a huge learning for me as well. So I really appreciate your time and thank you so much and wishing you all the best for your uh, future endeavors in terms of the warehousing operation.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I mean, it was a pleasure sitting down talking.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.